Before we deconstruct the brutal, mathematically unforgiving of your university degree and the exact algorithmic realities currently purging legacy professionals from global grid, I have exactly three critical questions for you to answer in the comments below. Number one, are you currently operating under a catastrophic delusion that your Ivy League, IIT, or IIM degree act as a permanent prestige shield? Completely blind to the fact that algorithmic hiring filters mathematically strips away brand names to focus strictly on real-time verifiable technical output. Number two, do you understand the lethal structural difference between demanding a seat at a table because of an institutional title you earned a decade ago and securing dominance through continuous machine audited portfolio of raw performance? Number three, when a corporate AI evaluates your cognitive footprint against a self taught, hyper focused specialist who possesses massive execution velocity, does your elite pedigree protect you? Or does it simply highlight your high cost and low utility? Let me know your answers. For those who are new, I'm Dr. HR. I approach the global labor and capital market not with emotional comforting advice but as a cold, structural, algorithmic system. I hold a PhD in human resources, a master's from prestigious Tata Institute of Social Sciences in Mumbai, and a bachelor's in computer engineering. Operating on the ground here in Dubai since 2010, consulting for Tier 1 corporate entities, sovereign wealth funds, and apex tech founders across the Middle East and India, I monitor exactly how absolute leverage is generated and how obsolete methodologies destroys executive value. The market does not reward you for the brand name printed on your diploma. It rewards absolute, uncompromising, and verifiable execution in the present tense. Your elite degree is losing its power in real time. The credential collapse is here, and it is rendering traditional certifications completely obsolete. The AI-driven performance metrics have forcefully replaced human biases, meaning an elite pedigree no longer guarantees a seat at the table. If you're relying on a legacy brand name to protect your career, you're officially invisible to the modern market audit. Stop wasting years chasing institutional titles that the global economy no longer values. We are witnessing the death of a resume as we know it, replaced by the ruthless systems of continuous verifiable skill audits. Before I completely dismantle the myth of an elite schooling, expose the exact mechanics of algorithmic output filtration, and give you the precise architectural blueprint to pivot towards high leverage, anti-fragile skill set that thrives on raw performance, hit the subscribe button and press the notification bell. I post daily videos showing you exactly how to navigate the global labor and capital market using cold, hard engineering logic. You do not want to miss these execution protocols. Stop hiding behind your degree. Start engineering your proof of work. Grab a notebook, it is time to audit your professional legitimacy. Phase 1, the brutal reality check. The death of a prestige shield. We must first diagnose the exact debilitating economic illusion that has paralyzed the upper middle class and senior executives across Bangalore, Silicon Valley, and the UAE mainland. For the last century, the global labor market operated on a system of biological proxy because it was too difficult, too expensive, and too time consuming for a human hiring manager to thoroughly audit the actual intellect and execution capacity of 1,000 applicants. The market relied on proxy. The prestige shield is an institutional brand name. Harvard, Wharton, Oxford, the Indian Institute of Management IIM. The legacy HR assumption was mathematically lazy but practically efficient. If this candidate survived the brutal selection process of a Tier 1 university, they must possess the baseline intelligence and work ethic. Therefore, we will hire the degree, not the university acted as the ultimate corporate filtration mechanism. In June 2026, the proxy is dead because the technological limitations has been eradicated. We no longer rely on human HR manager who get starry-eyed when they see a prestigious university logo. We have deployed the algorithmic auditing engines. When an enterprise AI evaluates a talent pool today, it strips away the prestige shield instantly. The algorithms does not experience awe. It does not possess a subconscious alumni basis. It executes a cold, unyielding mathematical extraction of your raw data. The machine asks, what is this node's actual execution velocity? What is a verifiable error rate of their GitHub commits? What is the semantic density and the structural logic of a strategic brief they have authored? How quickly do they adopt a new synthetic environment? If you are a graduate of a prestigious university, but your verifiable technical output over the last 18 months is a low-yield, generic, or highly automated basic LLM, the algorithm categorizes you as a high-cost, low-value liability. Your Ivy League degree is mathematically irrelevant if your real-time execution parameters fall below the threshold of an autonomous agent or a self-taught, highly aggressive specialist operating out of a secondary market. You are officially invisible to the modern market audit because you brought a paper shield to an algorithmic gunfight. Phase 2. The future shock of AI auditing, continuous verification. To survive this collapse, you must understand the exact physics of a machine evaluating you. We are moving from a system of a static trust to a system of continuous cryptographic verification. In the legacy era, a university degree was a permanent timestamp. You earned your MBA in 2010 and you lived off the dividend of that effort for 30 years. That model violates the fundamental physics of a 2026 information economy. We are currently experiencing the collapse of the knowledge half-life. In the 1990s, the of a learned technical or strategic skill is roughly 14 to 18 months. If you spend 24 months acquiring a traditional MBA, the macroeconomic framework you were taught in your first semester were already rendered obsolete by AI integration before you even crossed the graduation stage. The market knows this. Sovereign wealth funds and tier 1 tech conglomerates are not going to trust a static piece of paper printed 5 years ago. They use AI-driven performance metrics to execute continuous skill auditing. When you apply for a high leverage role today, the enterprise software connects to your public data repository. It runs semantic similarities analysis on your public writing, your architectural teardown, and your open source contribution. It utilizes vector databases to map your problem-solving frameworks against the company's real-time operational bottleneck. The shift is absolute. We have moved from trust me, I went to a good school, to do not trust me at all, run the math on my live execution logs. If your professional identity relies entirely on what you did in past rather than the raw verifiable output you are generating today, your career is a depreciating asset. The elite pedigree no longer guarantees a seat at the table. It barely gets you through the lobby. Phase 3. The Contrarian insider, the illusion of institutional title. We must ruthlessly attack the psychological anchor that prevents the executive from adapting to this new grid. The worship of an institutional title. There is a massive industry built entirely on selling your prestige. Universities function at a luxury brand. They sell you a highly expensive, time-consuming product that promises to elevate your social status. But you must view this through the lens of a pure cognitive economics. A top-tier MBA in the United States or a premier executive program in Europe can cost upward $250,000 to $200,000, not including the massive opportunity cost of 2 years of lost compounding market wages. What is the return of investment, the ROI of $200,000 in 2026? The generalist management frameworks you paid for are now instantly accessible via an enterprise LLM for a fraction of cost per token. The network you paid for is being systematically disrupted by a remote, decentralized sovereign operator who build global alliances based purely on raw utility and output, bypassing the country club alumni mixer completely. Stop wasting years chasing institutional titles that the market no longer value. You're purchasing a status symbol that the gatekeeping algorithms are programmed to ignore. The resumes, as we know, it's dead. The resume is a list of claims. The new global currency is a proof of work portfolio. A portfolio thrives on raw performance. It is a dense, high-friction, undeniable artifact that proves your ability to navigate the messy, unautomatable realities of a modern business. So do not tell the market that you understand supply chain logistics because you took a class on it. You show the market is deployed functional digital architecture that reduced the supply chain latency by 14% using custom RAG, the retrieval augmented generation pipeline. You must dismantle the myth of an elite schooling in your own mind before you can effectively compete against the operator who have already abandoned it. Phase 4, the regional arbitrage, the India-UAE execution grid. We must localize this massive macroeconomic shift to the highest growth region on the UAE and the India. This is where the credential collapse is causing the most violent economic restructuring. The Indian market. The fall of a paper monopoly. India is an absolute epicenter of credential obsession. For generations, the middle class dreams was singularly focused on cracking the joint entrance exam, the JEE, or the common admission test, CAT. Admissions into an IIT or an IIM was viewed as the ultimate unassailable guarantee of lifelong wealth and societal dominance. In 2026, that paper monopoly is fracturing violently. India's massive demographic dividend has resulted in severe credential inflation. There are millions of engineers. At the same time, global capability centers, the GCCs in Bangalore and Hyderabad, are deploying the most advanced algorithmic screening tools on the planet. When an American tech giant hires in India today, they do not care if you went to a tier 1 college, if your HackerRank score is a mediocre and your GitHub commits are synthetic. They will eagerly bypass an IIT graduate with a lazy portfolio to hire a self-taught tier 3 city operator who demonstrate absolute cutting-edge mastery of autonomous agent orchestration. For the Indian professional, the memo is brutal. The brand name of your university will not save you from AI purge. You must pivot aggressively towards building verifiable digital assets, or you will be drowned in a sea of identical, highly credentialed, but operationally useless candidates. The UAE D33 mandate, velocity over pedigree. Across the UAE, specifically within the mandate of a Dubai Economic Agenda, the D33, the market operates on an accelerated logic of execution velocity. Dubai is a hyper-growth market. The sovereign wealth funds, the mega developers, and the massive tech influx in the DIFC, Dubai International Finance Center, do not have the luxury of time. They are building the capital of the future today. When a Dubai entity hires a senior leader to integrate artificial intelligence into multi-billion dirham real estate pipeline, they're not looking for an academic. They do not care about your Oxford MBA. They care about your execution friction. Have you done this before? Can you show the math? Can you navigate the local regulatory compliance, the diverse expatriate workforce, and the aggressive timelines? The UAE launched the Golden Visa system not just for those with degree, but explicitly for exceptional talent, individuals who possess scarce, highly verifiable skill that adds immediate structural value to the economy. The UAE market rewards the sovereign architect who can step into a boardroom, ignores the theoretical fluff, and map a real-time executable solution on a whiteboard. Phase 5. The Sovereign Execution Protocol, building the Antifragile portfolio. We have diagnosed the credential collapse, exposed the mechanics of AI continuous auditing, dismantled the institutional illusion, and mapped the regional arbitrage. The final phase is your immediate execution blueprint. If your degree is mathematically void, how do you construct a professional mode that can withstand a machine-led evaluation? You must deploy the Sovereign Execution Protocol. Step 1. Liquidate the pedigree ego. You must permanently divorce your self-worth from your educational background. If you rely on your university name to command respect in a room, you signal massive insecurity with the lack of current operational value. Accept that the market evaluates you solely on what you produced in the last 90 days. Liquidate the ego, embrace the raw physics of output. Step 2. Construct the proof of work artifact. You must aggressively transition your professional narrative from a static PDF resume into a living, high-density digital artifact. If you are an HR executive, you do not write redesigned compensation structures. You build a sanitized, interactive data visualization showing exactly how you map the attrition risk against the UAE market inflation. and mathematical formula you use to reduce the turnover by 18%. If you're a tech lead, your code must be auditable. Your structural algorithm must be public and your systematic logic must be fully transparent. You build an artifact that is so dense with specific high friction reality that the AI screening tool instantly flags it as a high value human comprehension. Step 3. Master the continuous audit, the micro credentials. Because the half life of knowledge is collapsing, you must demonstrate a biological capacity for continuous high velocity learning. Stop pursuing massive multi year degrees. Pivot entirely to vertical micro credential. If the market shifts to quantum encryption or RAG, the retrieval augmented generation infrastructure, you spend 4 intensive weeks acquiring the exact verified microcredit certification from the core source, AWS, NVIDIA, Specialized Institute. You create a dynamic, constantly updating trail of relevance that proves you are evolving faster than the baseline algorithm. Step 4. Weaponize output over origin. You must force the market to interact with your execution before you ever see your background. When communicating with the tier 1 decision makers, do not lead with your biography, lead with the asymmetry of your insight. Record a 10-minute cinematic loom tearing down a target company's operational bottleneck. Propose a structurally sound AI integrated solution, send it directly to the C suite. You establish absolute cognitive dominance before they even know your name. You must make your origin irrelevant by making your output undeniable. Phase 6. The sovereign architect of performance. Look closely at the professional shield you're holding up against the 2026 economy. Look at your LinkedIn profile, your resume, the way you introduce yourself at corporate events. Are you leading with the brand name you purchased a year ago? Are you hiding behind an institutional title, hoping it masks your lack of current cutting edge execution? Algorithmic filters have already stripped that shield away. The market sees exactly what you are currently producing, and more importantly, it sees what you are failing to produce. The death of a credential is not a crisis, it is the ultimate liberation. It removes the gatekeepers, it destroys the old boys network. It creates a brutal, beautiful, perfectly meritocratic arena where the only thing that matters is a raw, unadulterated performance. Stop resting on your laurels. Dismantle the myth of elite schooling in your own mind. Pivot to the high leverage anti-fragile skills that algorithms cannot fake. Build a portfolio, engineer the proof of work, and force the global economy to pay you an absolute uncapped premium for your undeniable machine audited execution. Process the data, execute the strategy, and I will see you at the top.